Say the least, it was a long Saturday afternoon for the Wisconsin Badgers. After a field goal to give them an early lead, it was all Northwestern after that. The Wildcats led 24-3 at the half, and that was going to be the final score were it not for a last-minute touchdown for Wisconsin. Tanner Mordecai did what he could, his first game back since being injured in the first half of the Iowa game a few weeks ago. But all in all, just a tough day for the Wisconsin Badgers. We'll hear from some of the players. We'll have our weekly chat with head coach Luke Fickell, all coming up on today's edition of the Badgers Sports Report. Lines up wing on the left side. Mordecai takes, play fake to Allen. Tanner has plenty of time. Fires it left side for Anthony. Makes the catch inside the 30, down near the 25 of Northwestern. Devin Turner on the tackle. Beautiful throw from Mordecai. They'll mark inside the 30 of Northwestern. Cam Johnson to the left of the Wisconsin 22-yard line. First and 10, Bryant drops it off to Hyman, being chased by Peterson and Turner, and they get to Hyman behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 3. 3rd and 16 here at the Wildcats 19-yard line. 4 receivers to either side. Bryant back to throw. Pressure up the middle, and he's sacked inside the 15-yard line of Northwestern as Christian Allegro, the freshman, gets to the quarterback. Alvin Johnson out wide to the right. Here's the handoff to Anthony Tyus, and Hunter Wohler screaming into the backfield makes the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
There's no answers to, we just have to play better. I mean, we come out soft, we come out flat, we have zero energy on either side of the ball, and we get whooped around the field. I mean, there's no answer to getting smoked. We have to be better. I mean, we're soft, we're not physical, we're not doing the things that coaches ask of us, and we go out there and expect to win, and that's not how this game works, especially not in the Big Ten.
I think there's been a lot of ups and downs, and there's ways to see growth, but then there's also things that have gotten worse. And I think you just got to self-reflect and figure out what we got to improve on.
After Coach Fick hit on it, it kind of addressed the elephant in the room. Honestly, he told us that everybody's got to take a look in the mirror, and we're going to know who actually wants to be here in the next few weeks, but based on their attitudes and really just what they're showing, not what they're saying. So I feel like that'll be big for us the next few weeks.
There's going to be some weeding out, and that's, every team has to do that. And we've hit rock bottom right now, and when you hit rock bottom, you take a long, hard look at yourself, and that's what's going to have to be done over the next 24 hours, and over the next really 24 hours. That's all we have, because there's a game next week, so we're going to have to figure it out real quick.
We have 2 games left to play. We have 2 opportunities to send off the seniors in the right way, 2 trophy games, 2 statement games, 2 opportunities. Got to make the most of it. It's rough because, just lose a game, but you got to take the 24 hours to get your mind right and come back tomorrow ready to attack.
Let's go, man. Hey, you done my 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
The end around, Chimere Dike to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Wisconsin! Pass pops out of the air, it's picked off by Muma Jameta. He's gone! Braylon Allen all the way! Touchdown, Wisconsin! And it's picked off by Hunter Wohler. There is a big win for the Wisconsin Badgers.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, treating the Badgers, treating you. And is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors, buildingwisconsintogether.com. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
After a serious accident, you'll need a team to fight for the results you deserve. We're here for you whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey. A small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health. Remarkable.
Bananas are only 39 cents a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And 39 cents a pound is not just the price today or this week, it's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop and count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for bananas every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy.
These are operating engineers. They operate top-of-the-line, innovative machines and build stuff that matters. And operating engineers are well paid. They even get paid to train. As an apprentice, you can make $56,000 a year from day one during training. No school loans and no debt. When your training is complete, you'll have a stable career job that is high skill, high tech, and high pay. We need operating engineers right now. Your future can begin today.
After a serious accident, you'll need a team to fight for the results you deserve. We're here for you whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
As the Badgers continue in the final month of the regular season, another time to check in with some of the younger players. We've done that from time to time this season. Some guys who have already seen the field, like a Christian Allegro, obviously Tucker Ashcraft, among others. I'm going to touch on some others. Actually, one we saw get in there a little bit in the Indiana game recently, Tretch Kekahuna out of Hawaii, but we'll get into some other guys who you will likely see down the road. Let's get in with Tretch. It's a long way to go to get to Hawaii for this guy, but there's a reason you did it. He can run, and maybe for him, Luke, just a matter of getting healthy, staying healthy, and there's a really promising player.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, I think that even through his injury, so he missed pretty much all of camp, and then, the first 5-6 weeks of the season, and just trying to get him back into the mix of things with a foot injury. But through all of that, you knew that he had a little something. Not just mean speed. I meant just like an attitude about what he was doing and a toughness to him. As they finally took the boot off of him and then let him do a little bit of work, and they had to hold him back with chains. And so we knew when the time came that he wanted to find ways, especially to get him on the field. And last week was one of the first times. We're trying to find more ways in this last stretch to use him in different ways, because he is a very aggressive football player that has some talent, obviously speed-wise, and can catch, but there's a lot of other things that he's going to be able to do as well.
There are some really intriguing young players in the secondary, and again, we're not seeing them here a ton, if at all, this season, at least to date. Doesn't mean we won't here at some point, either this year or down the road. Thinking of Amari Snowden, the first guy who, has a really good fastball, but he loves football, and he's a tall guy, right? Tell us what you guys have been seeing out of him so far.
So there's a guy that was obviously a two-sport athlete and a heavy baseball kid. He was going to play both in college, which obviously we don't have a baseball team, so it makes it a little bit easier for us. But, he's a 6'3", 6'3.5" corner, that is really just kind of coming into his own. He played baseball so much that, the weight program and things like that probably weren't something he focused as much on, but that's what we love. We love to get him into the program, get him in with Coach Brady, and in the first year, you're seeing a completely different looking, 6'3", 205-pound corner that is going to do nothing but get stronger and stronger and be ready to play a lot of ball for us.
You get a 6'3" corner, you've got something there, don't you? They are hard to find, I would think.
There's no doubt. And that's where, sometimes people are like, well, speed. Well, length is every bit as important, and athleticism. And those guys that are long like Amari, they will get faster as they get stronger. And sometimes it doesn't happen right away, in year one, just because of the length that they have and as much strength as they have to build. But he's going to be one of those guys that you're just going to see continue to grow, get stronger, get faster, and play a lot of ball.
A couple other guys in the secondary who, again, are exciting guys to look forward to watching moving forward. Braden Moore, as well as Jace Arnold. Jace out of Marietta, Georgia. Braden Moore out of Hamilton, Ohio. What have they been showing you guys in practices?
So those are both two guys that travel with us as well. So they're right there in that fold of getting into the game and finding playing time. And we've not used either one of those two guys, but Jace gets a ton of reps Sunday through Friday. He's on the trips with us, whether we're away or at home. because he's one of those next guys to go in. And Braden Moore is very similar. I mean, he gets a lot of reps during the week with the twos. There's a little bit more of a combination with some of the safeties back there, so we've been able to hold him. Had him on a bunch of special teams, just haven't quite put him out there to get his first opportunity. But those are two guys, along with Amari, that are going to play a lot of football, whether it's at the end of this stretch here or for sure pushing into next year.
Every coach I've been around, Luke, talks about the importance of being on the travel squad, even if you don't play, because you have to earn that right. There is a lot to be said for that, correct?
There definitely is. I mean, just the experience that you get going on the road, recognizing those things, but really during practice, when you're running some with the twos and taking a lot of those reps, I know they're not game reps, but they're the best reps that you could possibly have. The experience, the expectation that's held on you by the guys that are around you, it goes a long way.
Your sport is defined by toughness maybe as much as anything. When you get into November, guys who are on the scout team, I suppose it could be easy if you're not locked in, like, okay, getting toward the finish line. I would imagine that's something you and your staff watch like a hawk every day, how they go about their business.
We do. I mean, just all the little things that you do, from the way you come into the building, the time that you get here, the thing, how do you take care of your body? I mean, just those things that as young guys, people would say, he's just a young kid. Like, well, no, if we don't teach him now, we don't have an expectation for him, and all of a sudden he is a starter, or he's a guy we're counting on, does he really understand and know what he's doing? So this is a stretch down here that not just for the starters, but for all those guys, it's a learning process about what it's like to really try to play and practice and act like a pro. This stretch tells us a lot.
And as we always say when we're running down a list, it is including but not limited to. There are a lot of other young players who I think have very, very exciting futures here. And yes, they are focused on this next game and finishing this regular season as well as they possibly can, but certainly a lot to look forward to with Badger football. We'll take a break. More to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. We believe in financial security for Wisconsin public school employees and their families. WEA Member Benefits, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. WEABenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.
I had big dreams. Then I got sick. UW Health made it their mission to give me a fresh start and a new kidney. Now my dreams are infinite. UW Health. Remarkable.
Well, there are certain families where athletes abound. I mean, they're all over the place, and that's certainly the case with the Ruchi family. Mom, an All-American student athlete, dad, a terrific offensive lineman, several years in the NFL. And their kids are pretty good, too. Nolan Ruchi, an offensive lineman, which brings us to the veteran here of the Ruchi kids, Hayden Ruchi, tight end. I got to get this because I've been meaning to ask you this for a long time, Hayden. You come from Lidditz, Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Is that outside Philly?
Yeah, it's okay. About like an hour and a half west of Philly, depending on traffic.
Okay. It has the label or the recognition as the coolest small town in America.
It sure does.
A lot of pride in that now,
yeah,
right?
Oh yeah. It was either, I want to say 2013 or 2015 when we won that, and there was a banner hanging over Main Street. Everybody was pretty excited about it.
So tell us all, what makes Lidditz the coolest town in America?
I love Lidditz. There's really nothing like it. I mean, the thing is, Wisconsin reminds me a lot of Pennsylvania. Just Pennsylvania doesn't nearly have as many lakes as Wisconsin does, but it's cool because I come up here and I get outside of Madison. It's got that home feel, but yeah, no, you can't beat Lidditz, so there's no replacing Lidditz.
Yeah, great place to grow up, without a doubt. I mentioned at the top the family athletic tradition. I mean, if you have that chance, you talk to your folks about a variety of things, but in your case, with your dad for sure, and even your mom, been through this as student athletes. you have some good conversations about that, especially during your time here at Wisconsin?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even starting with recruiting, they were the biggest supporters, just kind of helping me navigate those waters, because when you're in high school, it can really be overwhelming. But just having their help throughout that whole process, and I mean, both of them were played sports at Penn State. So they definitely could have been biased, but they were nothing even close to that. They pushed me and Nolan both to go out and seek our own futures, and thankfully we both ended up here, so they can still come and be here every weekend, support us. But absolutely, I mean, they've given us so many things just through college, just to put your head down and work no matter what. Like, there's going to be days where it's going to be tough, but it's what you do it for. This place is what you do it for.
Yeah. Todd and Stacy Ruchi, by the way, the parents. So I get that out there. I would think your dad, in particular with football, I mean, he played in the NFL. Things happen, things change. Great resource for you in transition periods. Okay, this is what the current staff. This is the responsibility. Great resource for you, I would think, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just from, like you said, working with new staffs. And even just like fundamentals and technique, like I'll send him film sometimes and he'll give me pointers, or after the game, he will never go out and tell me pointers. I have to ask him first, because growing up, he was me and Nolan's coach all through youth sports and even in high school, and his rule was, once you got off the field, he's back to dad, not coach. So, yeah, if you want the tips, you got to pry him for it.
No doubt. Well, I'm thinking maybe he's helped you with blocking, because I've been mentioning you in these games. Like, you're carving out space for dudes here. You take a lot of pride in that, don't
Absolutely,
you?
yeah. Blocking, that's kind of what I started with in when I was younger in youth football. Played offensive line, and then have kind of been more of a blocking tight end. But, yeah, absolutely. I take a lot of pride in that, and I like to make that a big part of my game.
Let's go back to last December, the first touchdown in the bowl game against Oklahoma State. Take us through the play and how much of a thrill that was for you to, in a postseason game. That's a pretty good time to get your first touchdown.
Oh, absolutely. Great way to end the season. The play, it was play action to the left, and I just stepped to the left and kind of act like I'm blocking, and then a couple seconds release on a corner, and nobody was in the area code. They just didn't even think I was running deep routes, I guess. And I was so wide open. I just saw Chase when he chucked it up to me, and like the only thing that was going through my head, because I was so wide open, is do not drop this.
I always thought sometimes you can be too open, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was one of those times for sure.
As one of the vets on this team, it's I mean, there's been some injuries. Your position group has had to go through some stuff here, but there's Tucker Ashcraft, beg your pardon, very promising young guy out of Seattle. What are some of the things that you maybe help him along with? I'm sure he's picking your brain about stuff as an upperclassman, a guy who's been around the block here a little bit.
Yeah, I know in game one, even before he got his first snap, I remember being in his shoes, and I just told him, don't freak out, don't go crazy out there. Once you get your first few snaps in, it'll feel like a high school game. And that's exactly what he did, and I couldn't be more proud and impressed with how he has competed throughout these first couple games. It's really tough for a freshman tight end especially to come in and be able to contribute like that. So I think that says a lot about him.
That's Hayden Ruchi, Badgers tight end. We'll take a break and have more to come as we continue with the Badgers Sports Report.
After a serious accident, you'll need a team to fight for the results you deserve. We're here for you whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
Bananas are only 39 cents a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And 39 cents a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for bananas every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy.
WEA Member Benefits, dedicated to helping Wisconsin public school employees become financially secure with programs designed for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
talk a lot about how much a quarterback has on his plate, the center has on his plate. Doesn't stop there. There's an offensive lineman for the Badgers who can pretty much play it all, both guard spots. He can play outside and tackle. He started in all those spots. Talking about Trey Wettig. Trey, give us, those of us who would never have any shot at playing on the offensive line anywhere. I mean, it's one thing if you're going to be at one position, but you're playing both guard spots, as I mentioned. You can back up at tackle. What's a typical day or a week like for you getting yourself ready for all of that?
So some of the most important things is, during practice I'll rep right tackle and left guard. So it's kind of like, sometimes if you're on the right side for like months or years, you can it's real weird going over to the left side. And so even though, I'm not getting maybe I'm not getting a ton of reps at right guard, getting the right tackle and the left guard kind of merge into like a right guard almost. But yeah, so it's like I get a taste of both sides, evenly cook the steak.
It is, yeah, absolutely. The tempo. This was a question I'm sure all you guys got in the spring, and you feel like you guys have made a pretty good jump there from what it was like early, back in April to where you are now with the plays coming, because you're averaging like 8 or 9 more plays, maybe 10 more plays per game a year ago. Is all of that starting to fall into place for you now?
Yeah, I think it's definitely we're getting a lot better at it. And we no longer need to sit back in that huddle for a while. So
this is it's been interesting with all the talk about the air raid and throwing the ball, but we've seen instances where you guys have just been able to pound on people, Wisconsin style. It's Braylon Jackson, obviously Ches before the injury. Any way you can score points is great, but is there something like when you get a feel when you're leaning on the defense and you're winning and they know it? I mean, is there any better feeling than that as an offensive lineman?
No, there's really not a better feeling. When you can run the ball and they can't do anything about it, it's a really fun feeling.
Tell us about Coach Bicknell. I mean, you've worked with a couple, obviously, different offensive linemen. We're getting to know him a little bit. I hear he can be kind of funny at times in the meeting room.
Yeah.
What's he like?
Well, it's completely different sometimes. Sometimes he'll be in the meeting room and say like, that was supposed to be a joke break. Because he sometimes he just likes the mood to be a little lighter in the meeting room. I think he thinks we all kind of can feel it too. That sometimes when you're all like kind of scrunched up and you're tentative, you're not really learning, you're not really getting the most out of it sometimes. And so he understands that a little bit and tries to lighten it sometimes.
Yeah, you played the position. Was that kind of weird at first, because offensive line coaches have a reputation, and not over the years I've seen that here where they're great guys, but they can be salty, put it that way. The first time Coach Bicknell started having a little bit of fun, were you like, really? You're serious?
Yeah, I think the entire offensive line room was like that, because not only was it it's a new coach, we kind of gotta feel it out a little bit, but it was like we weren't ready for that.
You've been around now a little bit, Bordellini, Ferdinand, Nelson, and you got some new faces in there through the portal. Molman, obviously, Riley Molman is continuing to develop. You guys feel like it's starting to gel?
I think so. I think that's also kind of one of the big reasons why I can kind of plug and play on both sides, where it's because I've been playing next to and with Jack and Bort and Riley for so long that it's kind of like you kind of know those things.
Absolutely. Yeah, one of the good ones. Very versatile guy right here, Trey Wettig, big part of that Badgers offensive line. We'll step away for a moment and continue with more of the Badgers Sports Report.
I had big dreams. Then I got sick. UW Health made it their mission to give me a fresh start and a new kidney. Now my dreams are infinite. UW Health. Remarkable.
These are operating engineers. They operate top-of-the-line innovative machines and build stuff that matters. And operating engineers are well paid. They even get paid to train. As an apprentice, you can make $56,000 a year from day one during training. No school loans and no debt. When your training is complete, you'll have a stable career job that is high skill, high tech, and high pay. We need operating engineers right now. Your future can begin today.
After a serious accident, you'll need a team to fight for the results you deserve. We're here for you whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, treating the Badgers, treating you. and is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
One more home game left for the Badgers. It will be under the lights this Saturday night at Camp Randall Stadium as Wisconsin takes on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
This has been a presentation from Learfield.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.